The last time Michelle Pfeiffer was in a Tim Burton movie, I hit puberty. Dark Shadows is the new Tim Burton-Johnny Depp collaboration. They make everything together. They're separated at birth. I don't know. They love each other. They really like each other. This movie's about Barnabas Collins, played by Johnny Depp. He was cursed by Eva Green to be immortal, to be a vampire. He was locked underground. He was buried underground for 200 years before some random construction worker dug him out, and now he's in 1972. He has no idea where he is. He's used to the 1700s, and this is all very strange for him. He's a fish out of water. There's a lot of comedy to be had there. He wanders into the woods and he finds his old estate he used to live at, this big mansion, and a few members of his remaining family are still there, and he decides to try to rekindle the family business. And because of the fact that he's from the 1700s, and oh yeah, he's a vampire, there's a lot of comedy to be had there. And let me just say, the trailer for Dark Shadows is very misleading. It really makes it seem like it's a comedy, just a flat-out straight comedy, and I heard that Tim Burton was very disappointed in that trailer because it mismarketed the film. And he's absolutely right. This is a film that has comedy throughout the film, and it's funny at times, but this is also very dark and violent, actually. I was very surprised at the places this film went. I enjoyed Dark Shadows for the most part, and I did have some issues with that. I will get to that later, but let's talk about the things I liked. First off, Johnny Depp is a great actor. You're never going to see a movie and walk out of the theater going, yeah, if that movie just didn't have Johnny Depp, that would have been so much better. He's really good at transporting himself into these characters. He does a great job in this movie. Also, I really like the film's soundtrack. It has a lot of good 70s songs. It opened with Nights in White Satin by Moody Blues, and there was just a lot of really good 70s hits throughout the movie. I like the soundtrack of the film. It added a very strange, kind of twisted, just off-kilter vibe to the movie with all the weird 70s music. Eva Green is in this movie, from Casino Royale. She plays the girl who curses Johnny Depp. And Eva Green, man, that is one good-looking woman. That is just... yes. I also like the fact that this film is not the girly vampire stories that we're so used to nowadays. He's a vampire. He shows up and he kills some people, and I was thinking, okay, now they established that he kills people, okay, they're never going to do it again. I was wrong. He didn't sparkle at all in this movie. He had meals. He definitely did. But this movie is definitely mismarketed, and you will see a lot of critics who are negatively reviewing the film because they didn't think it was funny enough. That's not the film's fault. That's the trailer's fault. If you watch the trailer and you go into this movie expecting it to be a comedy, it's not 100% comedy. It definitely has humor in it, for sure. It's got funny moments, a lot of them, and too many of them are in the trailer. But if you go into this movie expecting a straight comedy, you're not going to be happy. This movie clearly isn't trying to be that. It's not the movie's fault that these trailer people just keep mismarketing movies and disappointing audiences all around the world because the movie isn't exactly what they thought it was going to be when they watched the trailer. That being said, I do have some problems with this movie, namely the character of Vicky. She's the character that we start the film off with after the opening. She is trying to get a job in this mansion. So through her, we see the mansion, we meet these different people, Michelle Pfeiffer, who is very good in the movie, Chloe Moretz, who's also good in the film. But Vicky is a character that we start out with, and you start learning things about her. And then later, I'm not going to get into spoilers, but there's a character who kind of gets involved with her romantically, and you're supposed to all of a sudden care about that when she is just criminally underdeveloped. Her character is so important in this story, especially as the film draws to a close, but you really hardly are with her. She's just at the very beginning, a few scenes in the middle, and then all of a sudden at the end it's like, where is all this coming from? The finale of the film is very exciting, but it asks you to care about certain characters that are barely developed throughout the movie, and because of that, you're just not really that invested in it. And so I didn't feel any type of emotional resonance when certain things were happening because her character was so poorly developed. But I did like this movie. I enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed the performances. I like the way the film looked. It's beautifully shot. Has a great score by Danny Elfman. Performances are all good. It's just that tonally, it's extremely inconsistent. The narrative of the film is really jumpy because humor and then the dark and the violent, and then you're supposed to care about certain characters that are really poorly developed, and so the narrative feels really just, like all over the place. Nevertheless, I enjoyed Dark Shadows, and because of that, I'm going to give it a B. So let me know, what is your favorite Johnny Depp movie? Do you have one? Because the guy's been in a lot of movies, and he's a great actor, but he's been in so much. I don't know what mine is. I can't. I'm terrible with that stuff. But if you like this review, you can subscribe to my channel and get Stuckmann.